morning, everybody. I am heading out to a service call in Castle Hayne, North Carolina. The landlord has instructed me that the thermostat does not work, so I am sure we will find something else is wrong. Usually the part that the homeowner interfaces with is the thermostat, so when something's wrong they blame the thermostat, but most of the time it's not. So we'll find out what it is, and hopefully it's something neat and awesome. We have our thermostat base on the wall. It's a Brayburn thermostat, blank display. We go in to check the 24-volt signal between R there and C, which is common. We get 0 volts. So we're heading up into the attic. Right, buddy? Here's our air handler. Goodman model. Looks to be about 10-15 years old. We'll check and see. I like that drain. I know what you call that draining method. But it goes down and up and down and up. And I like the secondary too. I guess you take that and you put quarters in it and stuff comes out the bottom. I don't know. Well, there's our fuse on the outside of the unit. Not really where you want it, because if it rubs up against something it'll short out and jumper to a black thicker wire, then jumper back to the red. Kind of strange. Can't wait to see what the life history of this unit is. You gotta love it. We can look inside the unit and see that coil plate is falling off. Air's gonna be bypassing through the center of the coil. Not a major deal. It's kind of rusted out. Looks like the screw hole's still good right down there, so I don't know what the deal is. That is a large looking capacitor for the blower. We're going to check that and see what kind of capacitance rating that thing has. Let me see, we have a replacement transformer at the base of the pan here. So I'm not quite sure why it was changed out. We have a blower control board here. It does not have the fuse on it. The newer ones do. You see down here is a spot for the fuse, but it's not there, right there in the center of the screen. So there's our transformer. So it's a generic replacement, which is fine. See if we got any power to start off with. I removed the fuse from outside where the bare metal was showing, so it could actually rub against the drain pan and short out. Put it inside, coming right off the transformer, so it'll blow. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch this capacitor real quick and power up the unit and see what happens. Well, our good friends, the tenants, have strategically placed like an armoire style piece of furniture in front of their breaker panel. So I had to move that out of the way. The breaker, it looked like it was turned off. It wasn't tripped, it was just turned all the way off. So I turn it back on. We have power back up here at the disconnect. I'm going to change this capacitor. We're going to start things back up. We'll have to yank out the well done filter in the grill and take it out while we're testing things, but hopefully we are good to go. We'll see. Okay, going through the checklist, we have remounted the transformer to the side off of the base of the air handler. We have moved the fuse inside the air handler instead of having it dangle outside exposed. We've redone the capacitor. I got to pull the little shroud down a little bit, and we have reattached the plate for the coil. So we're going to put the door back on, turn the power on, hopefully she don't explode. When we plugged power back in, the fan came right back on. We'll see if the fan's actually supposed to be on, or if we have a stuck heating sequencer or something like that. We'll see. Our fan motor is running, although there is no call for the fan motor to run. What we have here is we have a heat strips that are running, and they're causing the fan motor to run. So we have some failed closed heat strips possibly. We're going to check those and see. So it looks like that's the case. Alright guys, we have our relay there on the left. What I have is there are 4 terminals on the left side of the relay. It's hard for me to point it out. On this side here. With the terminals, the 2 on this far left side get power fed from over here at the lugs. Whenever the low voltage calls, it allows power through on this side and this side, feeding the 2 banks of heat strips. Both of these are stuck closed. There's no power to the system and they're closed right now. They should not be. They're normally open. So we need to take this out and put in some new sequencers or sequencer to do the job of this relay. Here's our relay. As you can see, between 2 and 4 is normally open. There are no 3 or 7 terminals on this particular relay, but as you see, they do design one where there's a normally closed between 4 and 3 and 8 and 7. But between 2 and 4, we should be open. But as we look over here, we can see that there is pretty much a direct path through there, meaning the relay has failed, closed, and we have replaced it. The relay has been replaced with a 5 kW sequencer. I do not have a double stack at this time, but you won't see much of a problem with that on a 2-ton machine. 5 kW typically will handle that just fine. However, I will suggest that the proper relays be purchased or the heater be changed out, because you can tell it's been sweating and rusting out all these years. This is a 2002, so we're now at going to be 13 years old. So it's about time for a change there, either the relays or the whole heater itself. We have put power back to the machine, and we are not running the blower right now, which is good. I'm going to put the door back on optimistically and turn things on downstairs, see how she fires up. Guys, we're out here at the outdoor unit. The sort of repair here sets the tone for the whole job. If we look down here, our heat charging port is down there, covered in dirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up this hose here and just kind of get some of that debris out by just letting it blow out the other end for just a second. Well guys, she is running. You see her running pressures on the little screenshot there, a little bit higher than normal due to our, we have a little awkward flex run. We had a dirty filter. I don't think the coil's that dirty, but there's a couple little odds and ends that could be repaired. But since this is a tenant property, I'm gonna get it running, then I'll meet with them about what repairs that need to be made so they can never do them. And I will see you guys on the next one. I gotta change out the valve core. I'll put the new one in, backing it off to see if we got any pressure in there. Make sure it got in there all right. I guess it did. Let me get this thing off here. We did get the valve core put in properly. There's our caps we're going to put on here. There's a cap missing on the inside, but can't help that now. You see this valve is loose. They're both loose for some reason, and they were covered in dirt when I got here. So, but we're going to tie it back together, and hopefully we'll be all done.